Hello, hello, hello. There we go. Now we got some sound. Awesome. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing one, two. Justice Jane, welcome. Can you hear everything okay? I'm trying to get the settings adjusted here. Justice Jane, welcome. Can you hear everything? I'm trying to get the settings adjusted. What? Said Jones. Jones. Jones from Mafia. Yeah. They're not the same one. Hello, anybody out there? Can you hear me? Can you see how this volume is working? Does it sound okay? Trying to get the settings adjusted for the stream tonight. So if you could just give me a thumbs up, say something, let me know if it's working all right. Didn't expect people to already be in here. Justice Jane, hello. All right, so the special with KVOA airs at 9:30. We are going to start our stream at 9 o'clock. So that gives me about an hour to go eat dinner, and then I'll be back with you guys. Hello, how's the sound? How's the sound working? Can you hear me okay? Just want to make sure that the microphone's working. I got everything set up. All right, sweet. So I got everything set up. I will be back at about 9 o'clock and we'll get this show on the road. Hello. Hey, everybody, come on in. How's everybody doing today? All right, everybody, come on in, come on in, come on in. As soon as everyone gets in here, we'll get going here. Say hello. Hit the like button. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button. KVOA News out of Tucson is premiering a special here at 9:30 Eastern time, so we've got about a half hour. So let's go ahead and discuss the Nancy case. We can discuss thoughts, theories, whatever you guys want to talk about. Drop your comments in the chat and we'll discuss them all together. 49 days since Nancy has disappeared. This case has now gone on longer than the Brian Koberger case, with no arrests, nothing in sight either. Sheriff Nanos, the family, they're all supposed to be involved in this special tonight. They're all gonna have stuff to say. Hold on one second. We're plugged in there. We're plugged in there. Looks like I need a phone charger. You guys are gonna have to give me a minute. I gotta go grab my phone charger. I will be right back. Plugged in. Didn't miss any chat. Don't be afraid, guys. Say hello. Don't let me sit here talking to myself. I feel weird. All right. There we go. Phone's charging. Perfect. All right. Hello, kitty. Old Reggie here saying hello. All right. So we're waiting on the special to get started here. It's going to be about 24 minutes. It's supposed to be on KVOA's YouTube page, so I'm keeping an eye on that. If anybody's heard anything different, please let me know. So let's get a discussion going. Who do you think is responsible for Nancy's disappearance? Drop it in the comments and let's talk about it. We can discuss what we do know so far. Hello, Crystal. Thanks for joining us. If you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button, like and share this stream, get more people in watching with us. So here's what we know about the Nancy case to this point. She goes missing in the early hours of February 1st. Family arrives the next day noticing that she is indeed missing and calls 911 at around noon on February 1st. But the part no one's really been talking about is supposedly the family found the back door wide open. Why was that door open and why isn't anybody talking about that? Anybody have any thoughts and opinions on why the back door was found open by the family? So then you have discrepancies right off of the bat with the sheriff. He says that the sheriff's office was there Saturday night, the night prior. The report that was created was made the night prior. Now, those were both explained as speaking wrong and a error in the computer system. That seems like a pretty big coincidence. And those are pretty big errors to have two separate instances of an error. No, I don't know. I don't trust the sheriff as far as I can throw him. That's my personal opinion. Um, he's done a very horrible job with maintaining the crime scene integrity. There's been people trampling in and out of it since day one. Any evidence that is being found probably will be inadmissible at this point because it's just been contaminated. There's been no chain of custody of evidence with any of it. So I don't. That's where I stand with things. Sheriff has made many mistakes. Should have just let the FBI take this over from the very beginning. I don't know. I want to hear what you guys have to say, though. Let's drop some comments down below. Tell me your thoughts, your theories. Who do you think did it? Do you believe that the family is cleared, even though they claim the polygraph they passed with flying colors? There's a reason polygraphs are inadmissible. No update yet. I don't see the live stream popping up anywhere, or I don't see any video popping up anywhere. As soon as it does, I will be getting that feed up and going. When it starts, I will go ahead and mute my audio and we'll just watch this together. We can discuss it via chat if you guys want. That is perfectly fine, but I'm not going to talk over the video playing. I will wait until it ends and then we can go have discussion afterwards. So currently still just waiting on the video to be uploaded wherever it may be. So I was told it's going to be on their YouTube page. If anybody has heard different, please let me know. Thank you, everybody who is new and is subscribed. We appreciate that. Please hit the thumbs up button, give us a like, share the stream. Even if you don't want to have discussion, drop a comment. All those interactions help the stream grow, help show more people in the algorithm. We appreciate all that. So where's everybody from? Drop where you're from down in the chat. How many states can we reach during this stream? Our record, I believe, is 7 different states. That was a couple weeks ago. We had viewers from 7 different states watching at one time. Good evening from Arizona. Summer Station. Hello. Welcome to the stream. How you doing this evening? We're from Pennsylvania, so Pennsylvania, Arizona. We got two knocked off. Glad you could join us. What's the thought of the people out there in Arizona? What's everyone think of this case out there on the ground? We haven't heard from a lot of residents. No one's really spoke out a lot. A few of Nancy's neighbors have, but what's the general consensus from residents out in Arizona? Check here. Bum, 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 bum. Boop. We are currently sitting on 5 likes. Can we get 10? Shouldn't be too much to ask for, right? Da, 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 da. Alright, so what are we doing here? They just dropping a video at 9:30 or what's happening here? Oh, hello kitties. We got cats jumping around the desk. Kitty cats! Hi. Come here. Come here. Hi. Oh, come say hello. Come say hello. Hi, everybody. This is Norma Jean. Named her after my grandma. Sweet little chubby kitty. Okay, hi, everybody. Norma Jean. Okay, so I don't know. Can't wait to see what the family has to say tonight. You got the sheriff. He's trying to save his job right now with this recall effort going on. You think he'll get enough signatures to recall the sheriff? We have done petition gathering before and worked on recall efforts. And like a few years ago, we worked on the recall effort for is it the L.A. mayor, Arizona. I feel like if there's enough people that are upset with the sheriff, that I think this will go pretty well. I think they'll get enough signatures. So come on, where's this special on Nancy at? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Let's see. A News for Tucson special is set to air Saturday in hopes of shining light on her case. Where is it going to be played? Again, I ask everybody in the chat if anyone can confirm. Hello, Rebecca. DC fan, hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Trying to make sure that I have where the video is going to be. Bring Her Home, The Disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Where are they playing it at? Again, I want to welcome everybody to the stream. If you're new to the channel, please hit the thumbs up button, give us a like, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate all that. Let us know in the chat where you're watching from. Rogue Rebecca, welcome to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. 10 minutes here until the News 4 Tucson special on Nancy starts. Nine minutes. Okay, right here. You can watch the special here on KVOA.com or on KVOA News 4 Tucson's YouTube page. Okay, so they just don't have nothing up yet on their YouTube page. So I will just keep waiting. As soon as it comes up on here, I will have it shared for all of you. We're doing a check-in. Where's everybody from? We got Arizona and Pennsylvania in the chat. Where's everybody else from? Drop it down below. Say hello. Who does everybody think is responsible for Nancy's disappearance? Southern California, DC fan, welcome. There we go. We got 3 out of 50 in the chat. AZPACA. New Mexico, there we go. 4 out of 50. How high can we go? Do you guys trust the sheriff in this whole matter? What do you think? Is he doing a good job? I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. And right now, with a bad back, I don't think I could throw him very far. Nope. Rebecca says nope. He hasn't done nothing to earn my trust. If I was an Arizona resident, I'd be signing that petition to recall him so fast. I haven't read anything good about him as sheriff. Even take away this case, he's done a horrible job on a bunch of different things from what I can see. Pardon me. Oh, where are they? I have a couple I'm still weaving. Sorry about that. All right. I have a couple I'm still weaving out, but I keep ending up with Annie and Tommaso. The sheriff is covering something up as he didn't want to give FBI all details. I can't say I haven't thought the same thing, DC fan. Um, but they say that the family passed the polygraph with flying colors, so I mean, even with that knowledge, you still end up back at A&T. I don't know. Um, the sheriff definitely smells extremely dirty to me. So I mean, it's just something just not right there at all. He is, I mean, his own deputies have come out saying that he has withheld evidence, withheld information from the FBI. So he clearly doesn't want information being out. He refused to have the FBI help with analyzing DNA. So, I mean, I don't know. There's just a lot of things that don't add up to me. I can't disagree with you. It's been a crazy ride. I think we are close. I hope you're right. I really do hope you're right because you're right. This has been a crazy ride. I cannot believe that it has gone on this long either. That's just totally mind blowing to me. Why is that? I don't want that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get this set up here. I think I found where it's going to be played at, hopefully. So, yeah, I'm trying to. Trying to get it all set up here. So, do you think Nancy is nearby, or do you think she's gone out of here somewhere? I honestly don't know anymore. I think she's in the desert. Well, so do you think she's buried in the desert, or do you think she's just laying out in the desert somewhere? Because if she's buried somewhere, that took time and planning. You don't just randomly dig a grave in the desert on the spur of the moment. That's just not a thing. Anybody who's familiar with soil conditions in the desert would know that. Desert ground is hard, not too easy to dig. That's what I'm saying. There's no way you just quickly dug a grave out in the desert. All right. I think we might be about ready to go here on the Nancy special. Good luck digging in that dirt. That's what I'm saying. Okay, here we go.
Around her family
Switch
to share
over.
messages of love and hope.
We have been praying from the start of this. It was just heart-wrenching just hearing about this.
Nothing really like this ever happens around here, so we're all praying.
A community united with one plea: bring her home.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the microphone volume off, and we're going to watch this. I will chat with you guys in the chat.
Home, the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. I'm Sean Mooney.
And I'm Monica Garcia. We are 6 weeks into this deeply troubling mystery. Investigators say 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, mother of today's show co-host Savannah Guthrie, was taken from her home in the middle of the night. The case continues to shake our community and grip the nation.
Tonight, there are still no answers, no arrests, no motive, and no sign of Nancy.
Its sources close to the case tell us investigators aren't any closer to solving it. Nancy's daughter, Savannah, again on behalf of the family, reiterating an urgent plea for your help.
To bring her home.
If you've been waiting and you haven't been sure, let this be your sign to please come forward, tell what you know, and help us bring our beloved mom home. Please be the light in the dark.
And a light in the dark is just what this case needs. Let's start by taking you back to the beginning. Nancy was last seen the night of January 31st at her home near Skyline in Campbell. She was dropped off there by her son-in-law at 9:48 p.m. after having dinner with family. By midday Sunday, Nancy didn't show up to watch church service at a friend's home. Her friend called Nancy's oldest daughter, who called 911. What began as a missing persons search quickly turned into one of the most complex investigations our country has seen in years.
The Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos has given many interviews on the case, but this interview is a bit different. He takes us back to what he remembers about that day when she went missing, shares what's happened since, and has a message for the person or people who took her.
It started with a call.
Take me back to the night of Sunday, January 31st. When did you get the call that Nancy was missing?
My team had notified me of a missing person. Search and rescue was searching the area. And we begin tonight with breaking news. The Pima County Sheriff's Department is looking for a missing woman tonight.
And there were some concerns with what they were seeing at the scene.
And Skyline is where we are.
Investigators confirmed the missing woman was Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Savannah Guthrie, a name recognized across the country and deeply rooted in the Tucson community.
I don't even know that I knew it was the Guthrie family until probably closer to 6, 7 o'clock that evening.
Miss Guthrie is the mother of Today Show anchor Savannah Guthrie.
Within hours, the investigation was expanding, with the eyes of the nation watching.
FBI was plugged in that Sunday. Monday morning, we got a quick briefing. They had processed the scene, and we knew we needed some help.
After the public appeal,
We do, in fact, have a crime scene. That we do, in fact, have a crime.
Area right outside of Nancy Guthrie's house.
came press conferences, drawing hundreds of reporters.
We are aware of a ransom letter that was sent to the local media.
A tip hotline was created.
I thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom.
Billboards went up in several states, but the decision to clear the crime scene, followed by renewed searches in the weeks after, has drawn criticism.
A major focus all of a sudden on the house again.
Though Sheriff Chris Nanos says he stands by the work of his investigators.
Sheriff, looking back at this past month in the investigation, did it go the way you wanted it to go?
Yes, absolutely. Here's the thing. I think somebody said, well, Sheriff, did you regret this? Look, I have no regrets about my team and their efforts. I don't regret we let the crime scene go too soon or any of that. That's just silly.
New FBI recovery.
Then 10 days later, the biggest break in the case, doorbell video released showing a suspect
with what appears to be a gun at Nancy Guthrie's home the night of her disappearance.
Today, it remains one of the key pieces of evidence investigators are still leaning on. But it's not the only evidence detectives are analyzing.
Cell phone data, pings, cameras. I mean, how much are you guys leaning into that information, that evidence?
You know, it could be a cell tower dump, could be analyzing a cell phone.
So there is still digital evidence that you guys are waiting on to receive?
Well, we're analyzing all the time, yes.
The sheriff says investigators have gathered a lot of information. They're just not able to share much of it publicly right now.
If you could talk directly to the person who took Nancy, what is your message?
Give her up. Let her go. Just let her go. Just take her to a clinic, a hospital. Drop her off. Just let her go.
And you've seen these photos before. This is the person that Sheriff Nanos is referring to. The FBI released these stills obtained from Nancy's Ring camera of a masked suspect at her front door. They believe this individual is a man between 5'9" and 5'10". You can see he's wearing gloves and a ski mask, carrying a black Ozark Trail hiker pack, and has what appears to be a gun on his waistband. Take another good look at these shots. If you have any information, reach out immediately to 1-800-CALL-FBI.
For weeks now, you've heard about the evidence, the tips, and the rewards, all focused on finding Nancy. But we don't think you've heard enough about who Nancy Guthrie is. News 4 Tucson's Andrew Capasso sat down with some of the people who worked with Nancy and want you to know the impact she's had in our community.
A big part of Nancy Guthrie's life in southern Arizona is anchored right here at the University of Arizona. From literally helping save thousands of lives over the decades to helping students in the communication industry.
I always think about Nancy as this quiet leader who was so effective without ever working at it. That's just the way she is.
Former Professor Jacqueline Sharkey worked with Nancy for decades.
She always has had superb communication skills, and she used those to help lead a couple of very important public health and education initiatives that we worked on together.
One project the two worked on, saving the Poison Information Center at the U of A, the place on the chopping block due to budget cuts. Sharkey says Guthrie got right to work.
Gathered more than 20,000 signatures that were delivered to the governor, and the Poison Center was saved.
She says while the work was not easy.
This is in the pre-internet days. So we're talking about brochures and fact sheets and petitions that a small group of people took all over the state.
The impact of that work continues today.
Thousands of Arizonans have benefited from the Poison Center in the 30 years since Nancy had a major role in leading it.
That impact is something Dave Coulier says he's also experienced. He worked with Nancy on the School of Journalism's Advisory Council.
She was a huge champion of journalism and the University of Arizona. She was looking out for everybody, all the graduates of the program, and frankly, of the whole university.
He says Guthrie put passion into every project she touched.
There are a lot of people who wanted to get involved for resume builders or certain ego trips and that sort of thing, but not Nancy. She had a quiet power. I mean, she wasn't the loud, talkative person in the room. She was the thoughtful person who provided input when it was needed.
Now, as the tribute to Guthrie grows outside her home, Sharkey says she is not surprised.
It's all a sign of how much Nancy means to us and the enormous impact she had on the community and on our lives.
An impact she says everyone from her Catalina Foothills neighborhood to the U of A and beyond can all learn from.
She's a role model for how to live a life filled with meaning.
And one other thing Sharkey told me, for Nancy, she says it has never been about the credit, but always about the people. Sharkey says that selflessness is precisely why Nancy's impact is felt so deeply across Tucson today. Reporting at the University of Arizona, I'm Andrew Capasso, News 4 Tucson.
And after hearing that story, it is easy to understand why Nancy's sudden disappearance sent shockwaves through our community.
3 days after she went missing, Nancy's daughter Savannah turned to social media asking everyone to pray. So that's just what Tucson did.
Most merciful God, we pray for our sister Nancy.
We needed a place to come together, and so a vigil popped into my head, and I know both Nancy and Savannah are very faithful, and I just feel like even if people don't pray, I feel like people want to do something, and if they can come together and share hugs and share stories, then that might make it a little easier.
Sally Shamrell helped organize the vigil. She says she met Nancy through her daughter Savannah Guthrie, when the two were both young journalists at KVOA 30 years ago.
Welcome all of you who have come from the wider community for this vigil, for this time of prayer for Nancy.
Lupita Murillo is another former colleague who wanted to do something to send a message to the family that they weren't alone, and coming together was the way to do it.
Holding a vigil will make us feel like we're doing something positive. We're rallying around the family. We're asking God to please bring Nancy home.
Earlier in the week, Savannah had asked her social media followers to please pray.
We believe that somehow, some way, she is feeling these prayers.
And that's exactly what hundreds did at St. Philip's Church that night. They came from all over, many not knowing what to say, but others speaking out, praying for Nancy's return.
God is everything. I prayed for Nancy last night, and I assured her she's got this, she can do it, and we're behind her.
The church's pews filled with people holding candles, there to support the family and to pray for Nancy's return. Some who had never met her, and others who had known the 84-year-old for decades.
It's nice to show that Tucsonans are going to come out and support someone that the community loves.
And those two words, please pray, the plea sent out from Savannah Guthrie, certainly answered that night. Now, though, as the weeks have gone by, the faith shared that night and since remains as strong as ever. As Tucson continued their prayers, investigators continued their work to find Nancy. Sources say tips and cell phone pings led to raids conducted in both Rio Rico and Tucson. But they didn't give them the break they were hoping for. The first one, the night of February 10th, a man was detained in Rio Rico and questioned by investigators. Then on February 13th, police detained and questioned 3 people following a law enforcement operation near First Avenue and Orange Grove in the Shadow Hills neighborhood. No arrests were made in either operation. Evidence analysis in the Guthrie case has also proven to be futile so far. On February 11th, the first black glove was found in a field about 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home. On the 17th, the DNA was entered into a national database, CODIS, but came back with no matches. Then on March 4th, the DNA was traced to a restaurant worker who was not connected to the case. While that didn't bring any answers, detectives are still hoping surveillance video will. They're concentrating on this zone you see right here, bound by Campbell Avenue, Ina Road, La Cholla Boulevard, and River Road. If you live in that area and have video that shows anything out of the ordinary, you can find a link to share it with investigators on our website at kvoa.com/Nancy Guthrie. And as investigators continue to work the case, outside Nancy's home, a shrine in her honor continued to grow. It started with a simple sign, "Dear Guthrie family, your neighbors stand with you." And over the next few days, the messages of hope and prayer continue to grow, along with candles and flowers. Among the chaos in front of the home and up and down the neighborhood street, the signs and other items, a constant reminder of the reason for it all.
We're praying to God that she is going to be returned to her family and she is safe and she's well. That is God's wishes, to have her return to her family back to Tucson.
Neighbors enduring the interruption in their daily lives in their once quiet Foothills neighborhood. Many stopping by now to show their support.
I just came to bring some flowers in support of Nancy and the Guthrie family, to show that we're coming together as a community.
But others coming from beyond Tucson to bring their message of hope for Nancy's return.
I live in Arizona, Mesa, and I came down to pay my respects. I'm still praying for Nancy's safe return.
All of those heartfelt messages heard and felt deeply by the Guthrie family. Savannah and her sister Annie, along with her husband Tommaso Cioni, returning to the neighborhood on March 2nd to meet with neighbors, to thank them for their continued love and support throughout the search for Nancy. The three stopping by what has become a street-side shrine, representing the many praying for Nancy's return. Savannah and her sister carrying yellow flowers, overcome with emotion as they looked at the hundreds of messages and tributes left behind to honor their mom. That neighborhood display remains a reminder of the never-ending support the Tucson community and people around the world have for Nancy Guthrie. And what investigators and the Guthrie family believe is that your tips are critical to finding Nancy. Tens of thousands of tips have already poured in from across the country, but we're still looking for that one clue that will break this case. The reward for Nancy Guthrie's return now tops $1 million. Much of that came from her family. But Michael Hoopy, a lawyer from Wisconsin, added $100,000 of his own money. The FBI says they alone have received more than 25,000 tips, and at last report, 88 Crime reports receiving nearly 2,600 tips. Both are looking for more help to solve this case, and here are those tip lines again.
And at the heart of Nancy's disappearance is her family and her close friends. The heartbreak and desperation they are living through right now is felt in every message and video they posted to social media. They expected the national media to swarm Tucson once word got out about Nancy's case, but what came with it was a destructive group of profiteers, and the collateral damage has been far-reaching.
Call the cops on you and get you cited. Get out of here.
For 6 weeks, Nancy's neighbors witnessed firsthand the media taking over their neighborhood.
At members of the media, hundreds of people. I tell you, it keeps growing out here.
Journalists reporting on the daily updates of the case, but soon came a different group of people causing chaos in our town. From pizza deliveries to a crime scene to people showing up for photo shoots outside of Nancy's home. People even asking to sit at the same table the Guthrie family sat at when they were together at a restaurant last fall. Local leaders say these scenarios didn't just cross the line. It may have made things worse.
I wish that there were, we stopped having these sort of people that have a following in
media platforms acting as if they are investigators. I do think that it is hurting the investigation.
Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva says in at least one case, a name shared during a live stream led to threats.
He was threatened, his family was threatened because they heard by a reliable source.
Then came the false accusations directed at members of the Guthrie family and friends, blatantly accusing some of them of being involved in Nancy's disappearance in the midst of their most intense time of grief.
People that, in my view, have taken sort of a shameless, shot across the bow of decency for this community, for those families.
These kinds of erroneous reports, comments, and posts have damaged reputations and are ruining the lives of innocent people. One of them, local band member and family friend of the Guthries, Dominic Evans, told the New York Times his life has been turned upside down after being linked to the case.
The typical consequence for a journalist that has defamed someone is the news station or newspaper gets sued. If they lose, an insurance company for that journalist is going to have to pay a judgment. You can't successfully sue YouTube itself or Facebook itself because there's federal law that protects that platform.
With both platforms and those creating content on them hard to hold accountable, the damage their content may cause can be immediate and lasting.
Horrifically damaging to people that are falsely accused, for example. Why? Well, in the modern age, you now have a scarlet digital letter, right? There may be vigilante justice, people giving out your home address, your phone number, your loss of privacy.
And unfortunately, these reckless reports continue to this day. They have devastated the Guthrie family and their friends, adding to their pain.
Even in the midst of all of this, there have been moments of light, though. One of them, a call to our newsroom from a woman compelled to help. News 4 Tucson's Robbie Reynolds joins us now with that story.
It all started with one yellow ribbon, and then dozens more, handmade and sent to Tucson, the woman who made them, calling them ribbons of hope. And they're already being worn by employees here at El Charro, where Nancy Guthrie had lunch with her daughters just 5 months ago. Yellow ribbons, a symbol of hope.
I was saying we just hope that it brings awareness to the public, to just as media slows down, to remember to keep a watchful eye and ear out, and just to remember that she's still missing.
For Melanie, it's a labor of love. She and her friend Regina started making ribbons in 2003 when Lacey Peterson, a pregnant California mom, went missing. They made more when Natalie Holloway disappeared, and for others, until it became too much for two people.
I've been praying through every ribbon I make for answers.
Compelled by Nancy's story, Melanie started making ribbons again, and she sent the first batch to us here at the station. Word of the ribbons coming to Tucson touched Ray Flores, the president of Flores Concepts and C. Charro. We gave his restaurant family the first shipment. This is the first time Flores has spoken publicly since Nancy's disappearance.
When we realized it wasn't just a simple lost person issue, the severity of it really kind of hit home because she had just been here a couple months before with Savannah filming an episode for the Today Show.
While he didn't know Nancy personally, Flores says he saw the closeness between her and her girls in his restaurant the day of the shoot.
You could tell they were a very loving family, and whenever you have that kind of pain hit, it does. It affects you because you can feel it in your own community, in your own heart.
For his employees, Ray says wearing Melanie's ribbons offer hope and remind us that Nancy is still out there, along with others that are missing. He believes as a community we can all help by remaining vigilant, and he wants to emphasize that for both English and Spanish speakers.
If you see something, say something. Si ves algo, diga algo.
Omar works at El Charro and was there when the Guthries visited in October. He and other El Charro workers support the ribbon campaign.
We're still supporting them and we're still thinking about them every single day.
We have a lot of people coming through here, so the more awareness we can create, the better.
And that awareness is already starting to spread among El Charro's customers.
It's a great program to have that, to stay united, to create something positive of something that's actually very sad.
A small ribbon that has the capacity to make a big difference.
If we can communicate a message of hope, then that's the only and best tool for all of us to be part of.
Employees at all the Char restaurants will soon be wearing these yellow ribbons of hope. As more on the way, Melanie has already made a second batch and they will be distributed throughout our community. Reporting from El Charro downtown, Robbie Reynolds, News 4 Tucson.
And from yellow ribbons of hope to the bonding between neighbors.
More than 6 weeks after Nancy disappeared, her Catalina Foothills neighbors say they've been leaning on each other for support. News 4 Tucson's Andrew Capasso joins us from there now with that story.
The most striking difference here outside Nancy Guthrie's home is the silence. Just weeks ago, the street would be lined with headlights and taillights. But now, while most of those news cameras are gone, the people who live in this neighborhood say it is forever changed.
This is a very safe, bucolic, beautiful place.
For 6 years, Jeff Lamy has called this Catalina Foothills neighborhood home. But he says what happened at this house, not far from his, has shaken everyone here.
I think it's disconcerting that this occurred, obviously, and we're so concerned about the family and supporting that family.
And thinking more about how to keep safe, both at their own homes.
Maybe people are more apt to lock their door or ensure that that camera is operational, you know, that you've charged that battery.
And as a community.
There's been talk of reinvigorating a neighborhood watch.
But beyond those measures, many people who live in this neighborhood have been doing important work to help find Nancy. What you may not know is a network of neighbors here have played an integral role throughout this investigation, working behind the scenes to gather camera footage from each other's homes, cross-referencing that footage and getting it to law enforcement. It's part of a neighborhood action group which formed early on in Nancy's disappearance. One member of the group tells us that's our recipe. So far, we haven't found Nancy, but we can help law enforcement by being targeted. We let them decide what is actionable. The group continuing their work, they call it the recipe for being helpful.
The best thing you can do for safety is create awareness, create connection with neighbors.
One neighbor who asked us to protect her identity says what happened to Nancy is bringing neighbors closer.
There's a sense of what now out here. We need to rely on each other, and I've seen a lot of that in these past few weeks. More checking up on people and more making sure everyone's okay.
She says it's helping the neighborhood heal.
Before this, we didn't know each other. Now we know a little more about each other, and we know we're in this together.
Something Lamy says is critical.
Absolutely. You know, it's the silver lining to a very dark cloud.
While hoping for the answer to questions so many are desperate for. What happened and why?
Because this was a shocking event.
And there is still a lot of healing to be done here, and neighbors say they're still fearful, and they will continue to be until they get answers in this case. Reporting in the Catalina Foothills, I'm Andrew Capasso, News 4 Tucson.
Thank you, Andrew. For our team here at News 4 Tucson, the story hits home. As we've told you, Savannah Guthrie is part of the News 4 Tucson family, having worked here as a news anchor on her way up to becoming the host of the Today Show.
Reporting on the disappearance of her mom has not been easy. Like the rest of the community, we wanted to find a way to show the Guthrie family our love and support and to provide a place for you to send a message of your own. We never expected the impact our tribute would have.
Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help.
Bring her home. Part of a message Savannah Guthrie posted on social media. It was a direct plea to those who were involved in her disappearance to let her go. But it was also a call for others to keep praying for Nancy's return. Those three words becoming the theme of the banner. We weren't quite sure how the community would react, but soon they started to come. Some to sign the banner, leaving messages of hope and support. Others leaving flowers and candles, each expressing their concern and love in their own way.
Our hearts are in it, and she's always on her mind. So the candles right here, the heart we made, all the names on the candles, to me, it's showing hope, it's showing love, and it's showing humanity.
And all coming by for the same reason.
Just to show my presence and support so the family knows that they're not alone and there are people that do care.
And for many, without even having met the Guthries, they still feel connected.
It doesn't cost to care for people, and I care for the Guthries. They're from here. Savannah grew up here. They're ours.
And now, as the days have turned into weeks since the search began, keeping hope alive is more important than ever.
Hopefully, by doing this, it's still showing people out there that we care. It's showing people out there that just because the sheriff's not at the house anymore, just because there's not a whole group of people at the house, or you don't see stuff all over town anymore, we're not forgetting Nancy.
And tonight, the Guthrie family has a message for you, Tucson.
We are deeply grateful for the outpouring from neighbors, friends, and the people of Tucson. We are all family now. We continue to believe it is Tucsonans and the greater Southern Arizona community that hold the key to finding resolution in this case. Someone knows something. It's possible a member of this community has information that they do not even realize is significant. We hope people search their memories, especially around the key timelines of January 31st and the early morning hours of February 1st, as well as the late evening of January 11th. We desperately ask this community for renewed attention to our mom's case. Please consult camera footage, journal notes, text messages, observations, or conversations that in retrospect may hold significance. No detail is too small. It may be the key. We miss our mom with every breath, and we cannot be in peace until she is home. We cannot grieve. We can only ache and wonder. Our focus is solely on finding her and bringing her home. We want to celebrate her beautiful and courageous life, but we cannot do that until she is brought to a final place of rest. Thank you for continuing to pray without ceasing. The Guthrie family. Cameron and Christine, Annie and Tommaso, Savannah and Michael.
An emotional plea exclusive for News 4 Tucson. A family grateful for your love and support while desperate to find their mom. A reminder that you can find those links to call in your tips at the numbers at the bottom of your screen.
Like you, we were all hoping, we're holding on hope as a community. We can all work together to help bring Nancy home. From all of us at News 4 Tucson, good night.
So I've been sitting here talking to you guys and forgot to turn the microphone back on. So that's cool, right? Yep, just realized that. We're good now. I got it back on. So yeah, definitely senseless crime. Who do you think did it? And a little special there. That was 30 minutes of stuff we all pretty much already knew. No new information came out. I didn't see really anything new from Savannah. Not the new from the sheriff. But I thank everybody for coming in and joining us today and being a part of our stream. I thank everybody that has dropped comments. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks to the new subscribers. If you have not subscribed yet, please, please, please do so. We are still here wiping tears. Yeah, it's sad. I don't understand how anybody could just take an 84-year-old woman, view her old people and children like that's just the lowest of the low. So if anybody have any questions, anybody have any final comments, we're gonna go ahead and get this wrapped up for the night. Again, thank you all for coming in and joining us. Please don't forget to hit subscribe. I'm gonna start at day one. That's what I've been trying to do, has been starting from day one and piecing all this back together so nobody knows anything that's going on. No one wants to give us any information, so I'm going to try to piece what we can from what is known together. And maybe something's been missed along the way. Who knows? But I mean, what else do you do? All you can do is start over. Summersation, thank you. Thank you for joining along with us. Appreciate each and every one of you that tuned in. Thank you for your support. And we're going to go ahead and shut down for tonight. Unless anybody has anything else to say. If not, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. And we'll see you guys on our next one. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody. Bye.